11-year-old Sophia Williams lived in a small blue house at the edge of Pine Creek. The neighborhood was quiet, with tall trees lining the streets and friendly neighbors who waved when they drove by. Sophia had long brown hair that she often wore in a ponytail and bright green eyes that lit up when she smiled. But lately, she hadn't smiled much. 3 months ago, her father, Officer James Williams, died while trying to stop a robbery. He was a brave K-9 police officer who worked with his loyal German Shepherd, Max. After James died, no one knew what would happen to Max. The big dog with deep brown eyes and alert ears was only 5 years old, too young to retire, but too attached to the Williams family to work with another officer. Chief Peterson made a special decision. He officially retired Max and let him go live with Sophia and her mother, Lisa. "Max belongs with you," the chief had said at the small ceremony where Max received his retirement badge. "He was your father's partner, and now he can be yours." Lisa Williams worked as a police dispatcher, often taking night shifts so she could be home when Sophia returned from school. Their life was not easy after James died, but they managed. Money was tight, and the house felt empty without James' loud laugh and big presence. Max became Sophia's shadow. The 85-pound German Shepherd followed her everywhere. He slept beside her bed, waited by the bathroom door, and walked her to the bus stop every morning. When Sophie cried at night, missing her dad, Max would put his head on her lap and stay until she fell asleep. "That dog understands more than most people," Lisa often said, watching how Max seemed to sense Sophia's moods. What many people didn't realize was that Max wasn't just any retired police dog. He had been specially trained in personal protection as well as tracking and drug detection. Officer Williams had been part of an elite K-9 unit, and Max had won awards for his training and skills. James had even taught Sophia some of the special command words used to direct Max. "Remember, Sophia," her father had told her once during a demonstration at her school. "Max knows the difference between play and real danger. These commands are only for emergencies." Sophia had practiced the commands with her father watching, but never had to use them for real. To her, Max was just her furry best friend who liked to chase tennis balls and steal socks from the laundry basket. Spring turned to summer in Pine Creek. Sophia finished 5th grade and started spending her days riding her bike, reading books under the big oak tree in their yard, and taking Max for long walks in the safe parts of the neighborhood. Lisa always gave strict instructions about where Sophie could go. "Stay on Main Street and Maple Avenue only," her mother would say before leaving for work. "Don't go near Willow Creek Park and be home before dark." Sophia usually followed these rules, but she didn't know that a group of bikers had recently moved into the old Wilson property near Willow Creek. The police had their eyes on them, suspecting they were connected to drugs and thefts in nearby towns. Lisa knew about the bikers, which was why she was so strict about where Sophia could go. On a warm Tuesday in July, Sophia's life was about to change. She didn't know it as she ate breakfast that morning, or as she played with her friend Emma that afternoon. She had no idea that the training Max had received would soon be put to the test, or that her father's partner was about to become her protector in a way no one expected. The trouble began on a Thursday. Sophia was eating cereal at the kitchen table when her mother came in with a worried look on her face. Max sat nearby, his ears perking up as Lisa made her morning coffee. "Sophia, I need you to be extra careful these days," Lisa said, sitting down across from her daughter. "There's a new group of people who moved into the old Wilson house by Willow Creek." "You mean the big house with the broken fence?" Sophia asked, spooning the last of her cereal. "Yes, that one. They're not good people, sweetie. The police station has been getting calls about them. Loud motorcycles at night, garbage in the creek, and Mrs. Peterson said someone took her garden gnomes." Max's ears twitched at Lisa's serious tone. The dog seemed to understand every word. "Are they dangerous?" Sophia asked, suddenly feeling scared. "We don't know for sure, but I want you to stay far away from there. No shortcuts through the park, even if you're late coming home from Emma's house. Promise me?" "I promise, Mom," Sophia said, reaching down to pat Max's head. The next day, Sophia saw the bikers for the first time. She was walking with Max to the corner store to buy milk for her mother. 3 motorcycles roared past them on Main Street, so loud that Sophia had to cover her ears. Max stood very still, his body tense as he watched the bikers zoom by. The men on the motorcycles wore black leather jackets with a red snake design on the back. They had long beards and tattoos on their arms. One of them looked right at Sophia as they passed, and she felt a chill run down her spine. "Come on, Max," she whispered, tugging gently on his leash. The dog reluctantly followed, his eyes still fixed on the direction the bikers had gone. At the store, Mr. Jenkins, the owner, was talking to Officer Rodriguez, who often patrolled their neighborhood. "Those snake riders are nothing but trouble," Mr. Jenkins was saying. "They threatened old Mr. Wilson until he moved out of his own house. Now they're acting like they own the whole east side of town." Officer Rodriguez noticed Sophia and smiled. "Hey there, Sophia. How's Max doing?" "He's good," Sophia replied, handing Mr. Jenkins the money for the milk. "That's one special dog you've got," Officer Rodriguez said, bending down to pet Max. "Your dad trained him well. Best canine officer I ever worked with." Sophia smiled sadly at the mention of her father. "Do you know those men on the motorcycles?" she asked. Officer Rodriguez exchanged a glance with Mr. Jenkins. "We're keeping an eye on them," he said carefully. "Just make sure you stay with Max when you're outside, okay? And listen to your mom's rules." On Saturday, more signs of trouble appeared. Sophia and Emma were playing in Emma's front yard when they heard loud music coming from the direction of Willow Creek. Several motorcycles were parked outside the old Wilson house, and men were carrying boxes inside. "My dad says they're drug dealers," Emma whispered, though no one was close enough to hear them. "My mom just says they're bad news," Sophia replied, watching as Max stared intently at the house down the street. That night, Sophia couldn't sleep. The sound of motorcycles kept roaring past their house, and once she heard loud shouting. Max stayed by her bed, more alert than usual, his ears constantly moving to track the sounds outside. On Sunday morning, Lisa got a call that made her face turn pale. She hung up the phone and sat down heavily at the kitchen table. "What's wrong, Mom?" Sophia asked. "Someone broke into the community center last night. They took the computers and vandalized the place. They left that snake symbol painted on the wall." Lisa rubbed her forehead. "The chief is calling in extra officers. Things are getting worse." Max walked over and put his head on Lisa's lap, as if trying to comfort her. She scratched behind his ears. "I have to work a double shift today," Lisa said. "I want you to stay inside with Max. Don't even go in the backyard without him. Understand?" Sophia nodded, feeling the seriousness of the situation. She didn't know that in just a few days, she would come face to face with the snake riders, and they would make the biggest mistake of their lives by underestimating the ordinary-looking German Shepherd who never left her side. Monday afternoon started like any other day. Sophia finished her homework early and asked her mother if she could go to Emma's house to work on their science project about plants. "Be back before dark," Lisa reminded her as she got ready for her shift at the police station, "and take Max with you." "I will," Sophia promised, clipping the leash onto Max's collar. The big German Shepherd wagged his tail, happy to go for a walk. The walk to Emma's house took 15 minutes, following the safe route along Main Street and Maple Avenue. Max walked perfectly beside Sophia, occasionally looking around with alert eyes, scanning the streets as if he was still on duty. Sophia and Emma worked on their project for hours, collecting leaves from Emma's yard and gluing them into their science notebooks. They lost track of time, and when Sophia finally looked out the window, she saw the sun was starting to set. "I have to go home now," Sophia said, gathering her backpack. "Mom will worry if I'm late." "Why don't you take the shortcut through Willow Creek Park?" Emma suggested. "It will save you at least 10 minutes. Sophia hesitated. "Mom said not to go near the park." "But you have Max with you," Emma pointed out. "And it's still light out. My brother took that way yesterday and said he didn't see any of those biker guys." Sophia looked at Max, who was sitting patiently by the door. He did look strong and protective, and she really didn't want her mom to worry if she was late. "Okay, but just this once," Sophia decided. The park entrance was only 2 blocks from Emma's house. As they approached, Sophia felt a small twist of worry in her stomach. The park usually had people playing or walking their dogs, but today it looked empty. The swings moved slightly in the evening breeze, making a creaking sound that seemed too loud in the quiet. Max stopped at the entrance, his ears forward and his body suddenly tense. "It's okay, boy," Sophia said, though she wasn't sure if she was trying to convince Max or herself. "We'll just go straight through and be home in no time." The shortcut path cut through a small wooded area before coming out just 2 blocks from Sophia's house. As they walked deeper into the park, the trees made long shadows across the path. Sophia walked faster, holding Max's leash tightly. They were halfway through the park when Max suddenly stopped. His ears were up, his body completely still. Then Sophia heard it too, the sound of motorcycles approaching the park. "Let's hurry, Max," she whispered, her heart beating faster. But it was too late. 3 motorcycles pulled up at the park entrance behind them, blocking the way they had come. The engines went quiet, and Sophia heard men laughing. She recognized the red snake symbols on their jackets even from a distance. Max moved closer to Sophia, his body now positioned slightly in front of her. She could feel the tension in his muscles through the leash. Well, what do we have here?" A rough voice called out. 3 men were walking toward them. The tallest one had a long beard and tattoos covering his arms. A little girl and her puppy out for a walk. Sophia took a step back. "We're just going home." The second man, wearing a bandana over his hair, grinned, showing yellow teeth. "That's a nice backpack. Bet you got some good stuff in there." "Please let us pass," Sophia said, trying to sound brave even though her voice shook. "Not so fast," said the third man, the shortest but meanest looking of the group. "We own this park now. You gotta pay to walk through." The men spread out, surrounding Sophia and Max. They hadn't noticed how Max's demeanor had changed. The dog's ears were now flat against his head, and a low growl rumbled in his chest. "What's with the dog?" The tall one laughed. "He thinks he's scary." Sophia remembered her father's words. Max knows the difference between play and real danger. This was definitely real danger. She felt for her phone in her pocket, but remembered she had left it charging at home. The sun was almost gone now, and darkness was falling quickly over Willow Creek Park. Sophia was trapped with 3 dangerous men closing in, with only Max between her and them. What the Snake Riders didn't know was that they weren't facing an ordinary dog. They were facing a highly trained police K9 who had taken down criminals twice their size. And Max was already calculating his move. The 3 bikers formed a tight circle around Sophia and Max. The tallest one, who seemed to be the leader, had a scar running down his left cheek. The park was now completely silent except for the distant sound of traffic and the soft growl coming from Max's throat. "Look, kid, we don't want any trouble," the leader said, his voice falsely friendly. "Just give us your backpack and whatever else you got, and you can go home to Mommy." Sophia clutched her backpack tighter. Inside was her science project, her wallet with $20 her mother had given her for emergencies, and a photo of her father that she always carried with her. She would not give it up. "No," she said, surprising herself with how steady her voice sounded. "Please let us pass." The man with the yellow teeth laughed. "Did you hear that, Snake?" The little girl said no. He took a step closer. "Maybe she doesn't understand the situation." Max's growl grew louder, and his body shifted into what Sophia recognized as his alert stance. She had seen her father put Max in this position during training demonstrations. "Call off your mutt," the short biker said, eyeing Max with slight unease. "That thing looks rabid." "He's not rabid," Sophia said. "He's just protecting me." The leader, Snake, reached into his pocket and pulled out a small knife. "I don't have time for this. Give us the backpack now, or things will get ugly." Sophia's heart hammered in her chest. She knew she should probably just give them what they wanted, but something inside her refused to be bullied. Her father had always taught her to stand up to people who tried to frighten others. "Max is a police dog," she warned, hoping this might make them back off. All 3 men burst out laughing. "A police dog? Yeah, right." Yellow Teeth snorted. "And I'm the mayor of this town." Snake flicked open his knife. "Last chance, kid." Max's posture changed instantly. His teeth were now bared, and the growl became a warning that even the bikers couldn't ignore. Sophia felt the leash go tight as Max moved forward slightly. "Stay back," she told the men, trying to remember the commands her father had taught her. "I don't want anyone to get hurt. The only one getting hurt will be you and your precious mutt if you don't hand over that backpack," Snake threatened, taking another step forward. That was when Yellow Teeth made a grab for Sophia's arm. His fingers had barely touched her sleeve when Max exploded into action. In one powerful movement, Max lunged forward, the force pulling the leash from Sophia's hand. He didn't bite Yellow Teeth, but instead body slammed into the man's chest, knocking him backward onto the ground. What the? Snake raised his knife, but Max was already repositioning himself between the men and Sophia, his training taking over completely. Protect. Sophia shouted, remembering one of her father's commands. Max's response was immediate. He stood firmly in front of Sophia, his body a shield between her and the bikers. His bark was now deep and commanding, nothing like the friendly dog the neighborhood knew. That dog is crazy, the short biker said, backing up a few steps. Snake wasn't intimidated. It's just one dog against the three of us. He waved his knife. Get the girl. Yellowteeth was still on the ground, looking stunned. The short biker hesitated, then made a move toward Sophia from the side. Halt. Sophia commanded, her voice stronger now. Max spun with incredible speed, facing the short biker. The man froze in place as Max's teeth snapped just inches from his hand. That's not a normal dog, the short biker said, his face now pale with fear. Snake was watching Max more carefully now, noticing how the dog moved with precision and purpose. Wait a minute. Is that a police vest he's wearing? Sophia looked down. Max wasn't wearing his police vest. He hadn't worn it since her father died. But around his neck, partially hidden by his fur, was his K9 unit tag with the Pine Creek Police Department insignia. I told you, Sophia said, her confidence growing. He's a police dog, my father's partner. Recognition dawned on Snake's face. Williams, he muttered. Your father was Officer Williams. Sophia was surprised he knew her father's name. Yes. The three men exchanged nervous glances. Officer Williams had been well known for his work busting drug operations with his K9 partner. This is about to get a lot worse for you, Sophia said, remembering something else. She reached into her pocket and pressed the panic button on her special watch, a gift from her mother that connected directly to the police station. The panic button on Sophia's watch made no sound, but a small red light began to blink. Her mother had given it to her after her father died. It connects directly to my desk at the station, Lisa had explained. If you're ever in trouble, press it, and help will come. Snake's eyes narrowed as he noticed the blinking light. What did you just do? I called for backup, Sophia said, feeling braver with Max standing guard in front of her. Police officers are on their way right now. Yellowteeth had finally gotten back to his feet, keeping his distance from Max. Snake, maybe we should just go. This is getting complicated. Shut up. Snake hissed. She's bluffing. There's no way cops are coming. The short biker wasn't so sure. That's definitely a police dog, man. Look at how it moves. And if she really is Officer Williams' kid. Max remained perfectly positioned between Sophia and the bikers, his training evident in every muscle of his body. His ears were alert, head low, eyes never leaving the three men. This wasn't the playful dog who chased tennis balls in Sophia's backyard. This was K9 Officer Max, ready to protect his human partner at all costs. Snake took a step forward, still holding his knife. I'm not afraid of some dog. Williams is dead, and his mutt is just a pet now. Max, ready, Sophia said quietly, using another command her father had taught her. The change in Max was immediate and dramatic. His body tensed, muscles coiled like springs. The growl deepened into something that made even Snake pause. What did she say to it? Yellowteeth asked nervously. She's just trying to scare us, Snake said, but he didn't sound convinced anymore. The short biker had seen enough. This isn't worth it, Snake. Let's go before. Before he could finish, Max suddenly barked 3 times in rapid succession, a specific alert bark that Sophia recognized from her father's training sessions. Max had sensed something the humans couldn't yet hear. In the distance, faint but growing louder, came the sound of police sirens. They're coming, Sophia exclaimed, relief flooding through her. Snake's face twisted with anger. You little. He lunged forward with his knife. Max, defend. Sophia shouted, using the command that her father had made her promise to use only in real danger. What happened next was so fast that Sophia barely saw it. Max launched himself at Snake, not aiming for his body but for the hand holding the knife. With precision that could only come from thousands of hours of training, Max's teeth clamped around Snake's wrist, not breaking skin but applying enough pressure to make the man scream in pain and drop the knife. Get him off me. Snake yelled, falling to his knees as Max held him in place. Yellow Teeth and the short biker backed away, eyes wide with shock. He won't let go until I tell him to, Sophia explained, remembering her father's words. Max is trained to hold, not to maim. You restrain suspects until officers arrive. Call them off. Snake begged, no longer the threatening biker but a frightened man immobilized by 85 pounds of highly trained police dog. Only if you all sit down on the ground and don't move, Sophia said, surprising herself with her calmness. Yellow Teeth and the short biker immediately sat down on the grass. Snake, still held by Max, had no choice but to comply. Max, ease, Sophia commanded. Max released his grip on Snake's wrist but remained vigilant, standing guard over the three men. Snake rubbed his wrist, which showed the pressure marks from Max's teeth, but no broken skin. That's not a normal dog, he muttered. I've never seen anything like it. Max was the top K9 in my dad's unit, Sophia said proudly. He can track people through miles of forest, detect drugs hidden inside car engines, and take down armed suspects without killing them. My dad said Max was the best partner he ever had. The sirens were getting closer now. Yellow Teeth looked at Snake with anger. You said this would be easy. Just scare a kid and get some cash. You didn't say anything about a police dog. How was I supposed to know? Snake shot back. It's just a little girl walking her dog. Sophia smiled as she reached down to pet Max's head. That's what everyone thinks. But Dad always said Max's secret weapon was looking like an ordinary dog until it was time not to be ordinary anymore. The three bikers sat in defeated silence as the first police car pulled up to the park entrance, its lights painting the trees in flashes of blue and red. Two police cars screeched to a halt at the park entrance, their lights flashing blue and red across the darkening park. Officer Rodriguez was the first to jump out, his hand on his gun as he assessed the scene before him. Sophia, are you okay? He called, running toward her with his partner Officer Chen close behind. I'm fine, Sophia answered, keeping her eyes on the three bikers who were still sitting on the ground. Max hadn't moved from his position guarding them, his body still tense and ready. Officer Rodriguez took in the unusual sight. Three tough-looking bikers sitting on the grass while a German shepherd stood watch over them. The knife Snake had dropped was still on the ground nearby. What happened here? Officer Chen asked, looking from Sophia to the bikers. Before Sophia could answer, Snake suddenly made his move. In one quick motion, he rolled to the side and jumped to his feet. Run, he shouted to his friends. Max reacted instantly, lunging toward Snake, but the biker had anticipated this. He threw dirt in Max's eyes, temporarily blinding the dog. Yellow Teeth and the short biker scrambled up and dashed toward the trees. Stop, police! Officer Rodriguez shouted, but the bikers were already sprinting in different directions. Officer Chen started to chase after Snake, but Sophia called out, Max can catch him. Max, pursuit. The German shepherd shook his head, clearing the dirt from his eyes. At Sophia's command, he took off like a rocket, following Snake, who was heading toward the dense part of the park. Did you just? Officer Rodriguez looked at Sophia in amazement. My dad taught me the commands, Sophia explained quickly. Max knows what to do. Officer Chen was already on her radio, calling for backup and giving descriptions of the fleeing suspects. We need units at all park exits. Stay here with Officer Chen, Officer Rodriguez told Sophia, then took off after Yellow Teeth, who had run toward the playground. The short biker had disappeared into the woods, but Sophia wasn't worried about him. Her eyes were fixed on the direction Max had gone, following Snake. Snake was fast, but Max was faster. The big German shepherd closed the distance between them with powerful strides. Snake looked back over his shoulder, his face twisted with fear when he saw Max gaining on him. Get away from me, he yelled, veering toward a small creek that ran through the park. Max didn't slow down. He leaped over a fallen log with grace that would have made Sophia's father proud. Snake splashed through the shallow creek, hoping the water would slow down his pursuer. It didn't. Max plunged into the creek without hesitation. Snake reached the other side and tried to climb up the steep bank, his boots slipping on the mud. That moment of delay was all Max needed. With one final burst of speed, he caught up to Snake and grabbed the back of his leather jacket in his powerful jaws. Snake lost his balance and fell backward, landing hard in the shallow water. "Get off me!" Snake yelled, trying to push Max away, but the dog held firm, driving him back toward the shore. Meanwhile, more police cars had arrived at the park. Officers spread out, searching for the escaped bikers. Through the trees, Sophie could see flashlight beams moving in different directions. "Your dog is amazing," Officer Chen told Sophia as they waited. "I've worked with K9 units before, but I've never seen a retired police dog respond like this." "He's not just a dog," Sophia said. "He's family." A shout came from the direction of the creek. "I got one." The dog got him. Minutes later, Officer Thompson emerged from the trees, leading a soaking wet Snake in handcuffs. Behind them trotted Max, looking proud and alert, his job completed perfectly. "Max!" Sophie cried, running to her dog. She threw her arms around his wet fur, not caring that her clothes were getting muddy. "Good boy, you're the best dog ever." Max licked her face, his tail wagging now that he was back with his girl. To anyone watching, he might have looked like an ordinary pet again, except for the commanding presence and intelligence in his eyes. "One down, 2 to go," Officer Chen said, taking Snake from Officer Thompson. Snake glared at Sophia and Max. "That dog should be put down. It attacked me." "Actually," Officer Rodriguez said, returning from his chase, "our body cameras recorded everything. Your knife, your threats, and the dog's perfect restraint. K9 Officer Max here did exactly what he was trained to do, protect and detain without excessive force." Sophia hugged Max tighter. "My dad would be so proud of you," she whispered in his ear. 2 police cars screeched to a halt at the park entrance, their lights flashing blue and red across the darkening park. Officer Rodriguez was the first to jump out, his hand on his gun as he assessed the scene before him. "Sophia, are you okay?" he called, running toward her with his partner Officer Chen close behind. "I'm fine," Sophia answered, keeping her eyes on the 3 bikers who were still sitting on the ground. Max hadn't moved from his position guarding them, his body still tense and ready. Officer Rodriguez took in the unusual sight. 3 tough-looking bikers sitting on the grass while a German shepherd stood watch over them. The knife Snake had dropped was still on the ground nearby. "What happened here?" Officer Chen asked, looking from Sophia to the bikers. Before Sophia could answer, Snake suddenly made his move. In one quick motion, he rolled to the side and jumped to his feet. "Run!" he shouted to his friends. Max reacted instantly, lunging toward Snake, but the biker had anticipated this. He threw dirt in Max's eyes, temporarily blinding the dog. Yellow Teeth and the short biker scrambled up and dashed toward the trees. "Stop! Police!" Officer Rodriguez shouted, but the bikers were already sprinting in different directions. Officer Chen started to chase after Snake, but Sophia called out, "Max can catch him. Max, pursuit." The German shepherd shook his head, clearing the dirt from his eyes. At Sophia's command, he took off like a rocket, following Snake, who was heading toward the dense part of the park. "Did you just?" Officer Rodriguez looked at Sophia in amazement. "My dad taught me the commands," Sophia explained quickly. "Max knows what to do." Officer Chen was already on her radio, calling for backup and giving descriptions of the fleeing suspects. "We need units at all park exits." "Stay here with Officer Chen," Officer Rodriguez told Sophia, then took off after Yellow Teeth, who had run toward the playground. The short biker had disappeared into the woods, but Sophia wasn't worried about him. Her eyes were fixed on the direction Max had gone, following Snake. Snake was fast, but Max was faster. The big German shepherd closed the distance between them with powerful strides. Snake looked back over his shoulder, his face twisted with fear when he saw Max gaining on him. "Get away from me," he yelled, veering toward a small creek that ran through the park. Max didn't slow down. He leaped over a fallen log with grace that would have made Sophia's father proud. Snake splashed through the shallow creek, hoping the water would slow down his pursuer. It didn't. Max plunged into the creek without hesitation. Snake reached the other side and tried to climb up the steep bank, his boots slipping on the mud. That moment of delay was all Max needed. With one final burst of speed, he caught up to Snake and grabbed the back of his leather jacket in his powerful jaws. Snake lost his balance and fell backward, landing hard in the shallow water. "Get off me!" Snake yelled, trying to push Max away, but the dog held firm, dragging him back toward the shore. Meanwhile, more police cars had arrived at the park. Officers spread out, searching for the escaped bikers. Through the trees, Sophie could see flashlight beams moving in different directions. "Your dog is amazing," Officer Chen told Sophia as they waited. "I've worked with K9 units before, but I've never seen a retired police dog respond like this." "He's not just a dog," Sophia said. "He's family." A shout came from the direction of the creek. "I got one. The dog got him." Minutes later, Officer Thompson emerged from the trees, leading the soaking wet Snake in handcuffs. Behind them trotted Max, looking proud and alert, his job completed perfectly. "Max," Sophie cried, running to her dog. She threw her arms around his wet fur, not caring that her clothes were getting muddy. "Good boy, you're the best dog ever." Max licked her face, his tail wagging now that he was back with his girl. To anyone watching, he might have looked like an ordinary pet again, except for the commanding presence and intelligence in his eyes. "One down, 2 to go," Officer Chen said, taking Snake from Officer Thompson. Snake glared at Sophia and Max. "That dog should be put down. It attacked me." "Actually," Officer Rodriguez said, returning from his chase, "our body cameras recorded everything. Your knife, your threats, and the dog's perfect restraint. K9 Officer Max here did exactly what he was trained to do, protect and detain without excessive force." Sophia hugged Max tighter. "My dad would be so proud of you," she whispered in his ear. More police cars arrived at Willow Creek Park, their lights flashing against the now dark sky. Lisa Williams' police cruiser skidded to a stop near the park entrance. She jumped out, her face pale with worry. "Sophia," she called, running toward her daughter. Sophia looked up from where she sat on a park bench with Max beside her. "Mom," she rushed into her mother's arms. Lisa hugged her daughter tightly, then held her at arm's length, checking for injuries. "Are you hurt? What happened?" "I got the alert from your panic button and nearly had a heart attack." "I'm okay, Mom. Max protected me," Sophia explained, looking back at the German shepherd who sat watching them, still alert even after his chase. Lisa knelt down and hugged Max, tears in her eyes. "Good boy, Max. Good boy." Officer Rodriguez approached with a clipboard in his hand. "Lisa, we need Sophia to tell us exactly what happened. We've got Snake in custody, but Yellow Teeth and the third biker are still out there." Lisa nodded, keeping her arm around Sophia's shoulders. "Tell them everything, honey." Sophia took a deep breath and explained how she had decided to take the shortcut through the park, how the bikers had surrounded her, and how Max had defended her using the commands her father had taught her. "Max was amazing, Mom," Sophia said, her eyes shining. "He remembered all his training. Dad would have been so proud." Chief Peterson arrived just as Sophia finished her story. The tall, gray-haired man had been her father's boss and friend for many years. He listened carefully, then knelt down to pet Max. "Your father always said Max was the best K9 he'd ever trained," Chief Peterson said. "Now I see why." The radio on Officer Rodriguez's shoulder crackled to life. "All units, we've apprehended Suspect 2 near the East Park exit, still searching for Suspect 3. "That's good news," Chief Peterson said. "We'll get them all tonight." Suddenly, Max's ears perked up. He stood quickly, his body tense again, looking toward the dark trees behind them. "What is it, boy?" Sophia asked, recognizing his alert posture. Max gave a low growl, staring intently at the shadows. "Everyone get back," Officer Rodriguez said, drawing his gun. Max might have detected something. Before anyone could move, the short biker burst from the trees, running straight toward them. Unlike his friends, he didn't look like he was trying to escape. His face was twisted with anger, and he was heading directly for Sophia and Lisa. "This is your fault," he shouted. "You ruined everything." Officers moved to intercept him, but he was too fast, too close. He reached into his jacket and pulled out something that glinted in the police car lights. "Look out!" Chief Peterson yelled. "He's got a weapon." Time seemed to slow down. Lisa pushed Sophia behind her, trying to shield her daughter with her body. Officers raised their guns, but they couldn't shoot with Sophia and Lisa so close to the attacker. Max didn't hesitate. With a powerful leap, he launched himself at the biker, catching him in mid-stride. The force of Max's body knocked the man sideways, sending the weapon flying from his hand. It clattered to the ground, a large hunting knife with a serrated edge. The biker hit the ground hard with Max on top of him, pinning him down. The dog's teeth were bared inches from the man's throat, but he didn't bite. He held the biker immobile, growling deeply, waiting for the command that would tell them what to do next. Max, hold. Sofia called out, using another of her father's commands. Max froze in position, keeping the biker pinned but not hurting him. Officers rushed forward, securing the man with handcuffs as Max backed away, returning to Sofia's side. "That's the third one," Officer Rodriguez said, relief evident in his voice. "We got them all." Chief Peterson stared at Max with newfound respect. "He just saved your lives," he said quietly to Lisa and Sofia. "That man was coming for you, and Max reacted faster than any of us could." Lisa knelt down, tears streaming down her face as she hugged Max again. "James would be so proud," she whispered. "You're still protecting his family, even now." Sofia joined the hug, wrapping her arms around Max's neck. The German shepherd licked her cheek, his tail wagging slightly now that the danger was past. "He's not just Dad's partner anymore," Sofia said. "He's my partner, too." 1 week after the incident at Willow Creek Park, the Pine Creek Police Department was buzzing with activity. The main conference room had been decorated with blue and white balloons, and a large banner hung on the wall that read, "Honoring Our Heroes." Sofia stood nervously at the front of the room, wearing her best blue dress. Max sat beside her, freshly bathed and groomed, his fur shining under the lights. Around his neck was a new collar that Lisa had bought him, with a silver tag shaped like a police badge. Chief Peterson stood at the podium, looking out at the crowd that filled the room. Police officers in their formal uniforms sat in rows of chairs. Local news reporters stood at the back with cameras. Even Sofia's teacher and some of her classmates had come to watch. "Today we are here to honor extraordinary bravery," Chief Peterson began. "1 week ago, a dangerous situation unfolded in our community. The Snake Riders gang, wanted in 3 counties for theft, drug dealing, and assault, thought they had found an easy target in 11-year-old Sofia Williams." Sofia felt her mother's hand squeeze her shoulder gently. "What they didn't know," Chief Peterson continued, "was that Sofia was protected by one of the finest K-9 officers to ever serve on our force, Max." Everyone applauded as Max's ears perked up at the sound of his name. Thanks to Max's training and Sofia's quick thinking, all 3 gang members were captured. The investigation that followed led to the discovery of stolen goods and illegal drugs at their hideout. The Snake Riders won't be terrorizing any communities for a very long time. More applause filled the room. Sofia smiled shyly, still not used to all this attention. "Officer James Williams trained Max for 3 years," Chief Peterson said, his voice softening. "He always said that Max was special, not just for his skills, but for his heart. Today, we see that Officer Williams was right. Even in retirement, Max remembered his duty to protect and serve." Lisa wiped a tear from her eye as Chief Peterson picked up a small box from the podium. "Sofia Williams, please step forward with Max." Sofia and Max walked to the podium together. Max walked perfectly beside her, just as he had been trained to do with her father. "For extraordinary bravery and service to the community, I present Max with the Pine Creek Medal of Valor," Chief Peterson announced, opening the box to reveal a special medal on a blue ribbon. "This is only the 2nd time in our department's history that this medal has been awarded to a K-9 officer." Chief Peterson bent down and carefully placed the ribbon around Max's neck. The German shepherd sat perfectly still, as if he understood the importance of the moment. "And for Sofia Williams," Chief Peterson continued, "who remembered her father's training and showed remarkable courage under pressure, we present this certificate of bravery, an honorary junior K-9 handler badge." Sofia accepted the framed certificate and small silver badge, her hands trembling slightly. "Thank you," she said softly. "But Max did all the work. A K-9 officer is only as good as their handler." Chief Peterson replied with a smile. "Your father would be very proud of both of you." The crowd stood and applauded. Officer Rodriguez stepped forward with a special announcement. The Pine Creek Police Department is also proud to announce the creation of the Officer James Williams Memorial Program, he said. This program will partner retired police dogs with families in our community, providing special training for both the dogs and their new families. Lisa looked surprised. This was the first she had heard of the program. Mrs. Williams has agreed to help us develop the training, Officer Rodriguez continued. And Max and Sofia will be our demonstration team, showing other families how these amazing animals can continue to serve and protect even after their official duties end. After the ceremony, as people gathered to congratulate them, Sofia knelt beside Max and hugged him tightly. "We're a team now," she whispered in his ear. "Just like you and Dad were." Max licked her face, his brown eyes seeming to understand every word. That night, as Sofia got ready for bed, she looked at the photo of her father on her nightstand. In the picture, Officer James Williams stood proudly in his uniform with Max beside him. "We did good today, Dad," she said to the photo. Max jumped up onto her bed and settled down at her feet, his new medal glinting in the soft light of her bedside lamp. Lisa stood in the doorway, watching with a smile. "Your father used to say that Max would always find his purpose," she said. "I think he has." Sofia nodded, patting the spot beside her. Max moved up and laid his head on her pillow. "We both found our purpose," Sofia said, snuggling close to her protector, her friend, her partner. "Together."